So hi, we're on the Good Noise Podcast here with Puppy Angst. We're gonna answer some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
So it started as a solo project when I was in college. It's probably like my junior or no, it's definitely my senior year because I don't think I started playing like shows or anything like that with bands until my senior year. So started it then. It had a different name that was similar, cringier. I,
Can you share
I
with the
will say
class?
this.
Yeah,
I'm
can you
not
share with the
a young,
class?
yes, I will. I'm not a young urban professional, but I called it Yuppie Angst, and it was kind of like a joke to be like, oh, haha, like it's supposed to be like a sarcastic thing. But
Hmm.
after a while, I was like, I kind of hate it. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like working, food service and stuff. Like I still work food service.
Hmm.
Definitely not a young urban professional. I don't know if corporate America would hire me. You can't see, but I also have like visible tattoos and stuff. So changed it to Puppy Angst when I was like at a thing. I was playing like some show and I was just hanging out, and I don't know. I just kind of, it came over me. I was like, I'm just going to change all of my accounts to Puppy Angst, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to make a new email and just do that. And then I think it was the summer of 2018 when, after years of trying to have like band members, so this was like a few years after I started the solo project. I started the solo project like, I guess like 2016, maybe
Hmm.
like fall of 2016. Then
Hmm.
the summer of 2018 was when we added band members. Finally, I'd been looking for people to play in the band for a long time. And yeah, it's been like that since then. The way I consider the name is like, I don't know, it's like silly and cute. And I feel like kind of like that it's got like kind of like a silly charm to it. I get self-conscious about it sometimes, being like, oh, I'm writing emotional music and then just like using this kind of dumb name. But yeah.
Puppy Angst is the cutest name ever, so please don't change it. It's the best
Okay,
thing I've
thank
ever
you.
heard.
We were
Yeah.
considering changing it for a second. So.
No, no,
That's what
don't.
caught our attention.
Okay, so we can't. Everyone keeps recently. I've had a lot of people tell me like, "I love it. You can't change it," and I'm like,
It's so cute.
You have to keep it.
you've taken me back. So now I'm just looking for other dog bands to listen to, so that
To
I
tour
can just
with
really
as well.
lean into dog band. Yeah,
That makes sense.
could do like a dog band compilation.
Oh my god. Imagine. That'd be so cool.
I would
That'd
love
be
it.
Oh my god. I love this, right? Are you guys writing this down?
I can.
Oh, it's all on my Twitter. It's on our Twitter that I use as my Twitter.
Is your
Sorry.
personal? I mean, I use the Good Noise Podcast one the
Yes.
same way.
Yeah, that's what Shane does. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, if I mean, so I play in Mississippi as well,
Mm.
and Zoe uses the Mississippi Twitter as her personal one
She
as well.
does.
So it's like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's a common thing. I had my own Twitter for a while, but then keeping up with two, I just followed all the same
Much
people,
work.
so I would spend like twice as long scrolling the same exact news feed, and I don't know why I did that, or timeline, or whatever it's called on Twitter. So I would just spend so much like extra time just like looking at the same tweets over and over again for no reason. So
Mhm.
yeah, I deleted my personal Twitter account, and I was like, I'll just use the band one as my own and hope that works out. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's working out. So good job.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Of course. So
A little
congratulations.
more sincere that way.
Definitely. So congratulations on your most recent release, Tiny Thoughts. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Oh, we've like had a bit of a resurgence since I got TikTok. So I got
Oh.
some new people listening, and I feel like I've been doing a little more self promo at this point in the pandemic.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't love doing that because I feel weird being like, listen to my band.
Yeah.
But it works. I mean, like, people
Does.
are usually really nice about it, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll listen to your band.
Exactly.
I mean, I gladly listen to people's bands if they like kind of, if I were to make a post that was like, what bands do you like? And I have done this like for playlists and stuff. Like I
Mhm.
made a love song playlist recently, and I was like, give me love songs. They can be from your band. I just want to hear them. And
Yeah.
people would be like, oh, I hate to self promo, but me.
Aw.
I'm like, no, please self promo. Like, I
That's
need
the
to
point.
find new music. Yeah.
Exactly.
So when I see another post that's like, drop your music, I'm not like, I'm trying not to be so self-conscious about it anymore.
I mean,
Exactly.
as long as you're not DMing people, because I find that to be super annoying. As long as
It's
you're not
annoying.
DMing people like, hey, listen to my music, you can self-promo all you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But like,
avoid
we have
that.
people just send like their tweets with their new album in it with like nothing attached. I'm like, I'm not even going to respond to this. Like, I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
So
And also, you can't be mad at a band that's called Puppy Angst. So
true.
It's like puppy love, but a little more sad.
it's so cute. Like I just see an angry puppy, and it's oh my god, I love it so much.
I'm excited for our next merch run, which is gonna be a cute puppy themed one.
Stop! I'm so
Whenever
excited.
we get around to making,
Mhm.
it's hard work getting
Yeah.
all this stuff together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane knows.
Is there any meaning behind the album name or EP name or the cover art?
All right. Well, this is all pre-John, so I'm sorry, John, that
Oh,
I'll
these
pass.
questions can't apply.
Sorry,
Yeah.
John.
sorry, John.
Okay.
The album name comes from one of the lines in the song Moths, which is the first song, and I feel like that's our most popular one. People tend to like that one a lot. So the line is, "My thoughts are tiny lives that I am cultivating."
Mhm.
So the tiny and thoughts were like in the same line, so I kind of just like took a couple words out. And then the album art, I made that, and it was just like a couple of pictures, and I like superimposed them because that release was super last minute. Actually, we recorded it really quickly because we were just trying to put some like demos out there, and then we decided we should like just make it an EP because you can do home recorded EPs, like that's fine.
Yeah.
And then we had a friend of a friend's band coming from Texas. They wanted to play a show with us in December. So we just picked the day of that show to be like the album release day
Wow.
or the EP release day. So it was kind of just like down to the wire. We're not going to do that again because it was
Okay.
incredibly stressful.
Yeah. I
And
can
listening back to there's definitely things that like I wish I had, I don't know, listened to my vocal takes. That was my own decision not to, because I told Dylan that if I did, I would be too much of a perfectionist and like spend too much time on it.
Yeah.
But when I listen back sometimes, I'm like, I know I could have done better, you know? So it's like
Yeah.
this time around, we're doing it like, we're going to record it all first before even like picking release dates, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a smart idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, rushing it's not great. I don't know why we did that.
No. So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for this E EP?
Sorry that I keep answering all these questions.
Guys, I promise there'll be questions for you as well.
Mhm.
Good. The way that those were like 5 songs that I just kind of had written when we had our first practice. Those were like the 5 songs that we learned as a band, and that was just like our set for a while we were like learning to play as a band together. The oldest one of the bunch is 21. I wrote that when I was 21, and we didn't record it till I was 22, and we didn't release it till I was 23.
Wow.
Now I'm 25. Need to write one for every year, you know?
Yeah.
So there were just like a couple of songs that I like felt good about after playing them like solo at shows. I was like, oh, I like these songs. My personal writing process for how I go about writing songs is kind of chaotic. I don't have like a process. I kind of just like will be playing guitar and happen upon something I think sounds good, and then it just kind of like happens. It just, you know, I feel like I can't force myself to write a song. If I have the beginning of a song or like some of a song, then I can force like some, like the rest of it. But I can't just sit down and be like, I'm going to write a good song today. Usually that's not how it works. I usually go back into like chord progressions I've already written when I was just experimenting or whatever. And I tend to watch like Real Housewives while I play guitar because it's my favorite way to unwind. I know that sounds crazy, but it is. I really like watching them fight. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I could just play whatever I want. And then when I finally come to something I like, I'm like, okay, I'll pause this and I'll write some lyrics and start singing and stuff. But it's a good way to have my brain kind of shut off so I can just do what feels right.
Yeah, you're not thinking like too hard on it because you're just kind of distracting yourself and just kind of fiddling. And then you're like, oh wait, hey, that sounds good. Give me a second. So that's pretty cool.
That's usually when the best songs come out for me, is when I'm like not trying too hard. I have tried too hard in the past and I'm never happy with those songs.
That's fair.
So then I brought those to like our first few band practices. Our original bassist, Kyle, who's no longer in the band, they play in Steve, and they got like signed to a label. That was when John came in. So it was Kyle, Eric, Dylan, and I, and we just filled out these songs together. And yeah, I feel like that's kind of been the process so far, is like me bringing like the song, like structure, like my parts with like my guitars and my vocals, and then everyone else adding in their parts. There have been a couple of times where we like change things around or something as a group. So hopefully more like stuff like that in the future as well.
Yeah. All right.
Solid. That's sick.
Well, you guys already answered the first half of my question. So which song on the EP is your favorite? We can go round table on this one.
Exactly.
My favorite is probably... Sorry.
Oh my God. The lag is bad. John, you can go first.
Yeah.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
That's tough. I guess I do like the song Moths a lot. But that's just from my own perspective. It's like kind of it was like the simplest song to work with. So I felt like I could like change up as like a bass player. I could like change up what I was doing to make it interesting for myself. Okay. So I feel like of the original EP songs, when we do it live, that's the one that's like the most different. Whereas for the other songs, I kind of just respect what Kyle did because they're a very talented musician. So I just play the book. But yeah, I like Moths.
All right. Eric, you can go next. Alyssa, we've heard a lot from you. We're going to let you go last.
That's fair.
I think I like 21 the best just because it's I think it's like the most energetic one on the EP, and also it's just the most fun to play. Like when we first started playing as a band, I was going to mention this before, actually, I forgot. When you were talking about like how the band started or whatever. So I was living at this show house in South Philly called the Sin Bucket for like years and years. And there was a show at my house, and I'd met Alyssa like a few times, like through friends. Like I was pretty drunk, but Alyssa was like, I'm looking for people to play in this band. And I think Alyssa actually opened that show, right?
Yeah, I played that one. That was
fun.
We had met a couple of times. The first time we met was at Bonnie's Capistrano bar.
Yes, absolutely.
Like oh no.
Yeah. So I don't know. They were talking about like needing people to fill out their band. And I was pretty drunk, and they're like, "Oh, I need a drummer." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I'm a drummer. Like I'll play drums in your band." I've never played drums in the band in my whole life at that point.
Oh my God.
So I had taken lessons when I was like young, and like I play guitar and sing in bands for years now, and I'd always like mess around on drums and stuff. But I was just like, oh yeah, and then like, but it was like one of those things where I'm like, oh, like I had a drunk conversation with someone, like they're totally gonna forget about it and like never bring it up again. So I'm like in the clear, and then they hit me up like the next day. I think like, hey, like let's jam this week. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm gonna get found
Okay,
out.
well the thing is, you, Dylan, and Kyle all play drums, bass, and guitar. So the idea was like, oh, we'll pick whatever anyone's comfortable with. And I knew for a fact that you had a place to practice at least. So I was like, that's good. We have like a practice space. And I don't know, I always thought you were a very nice person. Like every time we'd hung out, like a cool dude. My friends who typically hate men love Rick, so I'm like, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Goes for John too. These are two good dudes right here. Solid.
Thanks, Alyssa.
I love them. I
think
boys.
that I mean, like I loved hanging out with Alyssa in general, like a few times we had hung out. So it's like, yeah, whatever, like we'll just see how it goes, and I'll just be up front when we practice, like, dude, I've never played drums in a band before. Like I was like talking out of my ass, I was drunk, whatever. Yeah. But it turned out good, and I think I like 21 the best because I think that was like the first song like that we played as a band where I felt like really confident in what I was playing. If that
Oh.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Alyssa, now you may go.
It's your turn.
All right. This changes. Each one there's a different reason why I like it. I think based on how it sounds on the EP, the two I'm most proud of are Meet at the Show and Closure. So changes between those two mostly. But I do like I like Moths a lot. I just wish I had done a better job performing it on the song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like there's just things like that I do differently now, just playing it like well, not playing it live right now, but when we were playing it live, there were just like certain things that I changed like in like the vocal performance and like varied a bunch of things. And yeah, I just wish the EP made like the EP recording like reflected that.
Mhm.
But I am like proud of like the lyrics and it seems to like resonate with people, so that does give it a special place in my heart, you know.
Yeah.
Same
Would
with
you
like-
ever? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Continue.
that's okay. But I would say it's like probably Closure or Meet at the Show. I like Meet at the Show because that's the one that sounds the most like Title Fight, is what people have told me. So
Yeah.
when I played it solo once, my friend from Brackish was like, that like I can tell you listen to like a lot of like Title Fight recently. I can tell you've been listening to Hyperview. I'm like, and that was when it was solo, like just plugged in guitar with no effects. So I was like, cool.
Yeah. So, wait. So, would you ever re-record some of these tracks and put it out as just like a 2021 version, or would you just rather leave it how it is?
On an album.
Well, it's a little hidden intel, but we do have an album's worth of material written where none of it's like any old stuff. It's like songs we played as a band like live, and then just like a bunch of new songs. But I personally would re-record some of the EP songs. I think that'd be cool. And it'd be cool to get like John to do his take on the EP songs, or like maybe even just like one of them.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be good. It'd be like a introduction, not an introduction, sorry, whatever. So, can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this EP? I know it was almost 3 years ago now since it was released.
Well, I do wish that Dylan was here. Sadly, they are not in the Zoom. But what was my headspace at? I don't know. I was like, it was a stressful time only because I gave this like weird time like limit on it for some reason, which I know not to do again. It was pretty fun to like record it at Dylan's house. We just did it in their basement. So that was like nice. So it felt like pretty comfortable, like just working, you know, with your friend.
Yeah.
And not being like in a studio and worrying about like, oh my God, we're spending so much money doing this. Like,
Yeah.
by the minute, and we're like being charged. So it was cool to do it that way. And it was like nice to like kind of, because this was the first real like recording thing I did for like a project where I like wrote anything. I have been in other bands before where I did like play on like a record, but it didn't feel like it was like mine in the way that it did with this. The band that I used to be in, that we haven't announced our breakup yet, but we will be soon. We've just kind of been really quiet. Blushed. I also felt that way about Blushed a lot of the time, where I was like, oh, I feel like even though maybe I didn't write this song, but I feel like a deep connection with like the bass line I played or like the backing vocals I added. Because I did like write my parts for that band. But this was like, you know, I wrote these songs and it was, I don't know. It was so special, the release show we played at the Sin Bucket. I'll always think about that night as like a really good Puppy Angst show.
So
the
much
room
fun.
was like full of people, and like there were a bunch of people there that I didn't know, so it was like everyone's friends, which was really nice. And
hell yeah.
it was like a lot of stress building up to a really great moment, which I feel like tends to happen with recording and like leading up to shows or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
So what band or artist influence do you think you can hear the most on this EP?
I want John to answer this because he didn't record on it. And I remember when we were looking for a new bassist, I just made like a Facebook post, and his girlfriend Ivy, actually from Corey Flood, messaged me and was like, oh, or commented that John would be into it. And then, he messaged me and I sent him the songs and I was like, let me know what you think. And I was like, I don't know. We like barely know each other. We had met like a couple years ago, and I was like, John plays in some really great projects and he's such a good bassist.
So your girlfriend signed you up for this gig.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's my number one fan / agent. I'm not I'm not one for having the gift of gab or self-promotion. So it's tough for me to reach out to people. But Alyssa and I met before I hit them up for the band. We actually interned at the Headroom Studios together in Philly, which is a really
wait. I thought you were just recording there when I was still interning. We both interned there, but not at the same time, right?
Are you sure?
Yeah, we have. Was it at the same time?
I thought so.
Oh, well, I remember meeting you there. I remember meeting you when you were playing in that band where the lead singer wore like a leather jacket the whole time.
Oh man, yeah, he was
You
going for
remember
like I remember that. Yeah, he was going for like a Keith Richards kind of vibe. But all the power to him, he pulls it off.
Yeah. Definitely hear the leather jacket.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. I'm sorry.
No, but it has like a sound for sure, like a
Definitely.
connotation.
Yeah.
We were like going for a rock and roll thing.
Mm.
But yeah, what was the question? Like, what bands influenced?
Yeah.
What bands or artists
I do this all
influence
the time.
do you think you can hear the most on the EP?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, I am probably the worst person to ask this question. It's also been a while since I've listened to some of these songs. I mean, Alyssa already said Title Fight. I mean, it's got like a shoegaze sound to it. Gosh. And I know Alyssa's a fan of what's that? What's that band?
That one band.
That band, I know.
Oh, the Beatles, yeah, duh.
Beatles, yeah.
Oh, Beatles.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah.
No, are you thinking My Bloody Valentine?
Oh no, I was thinking Death Cab.
Oh yeah, I do.
I'm not sure if you can hear Death Cab on these songs, but I think that sort of like maybe like emo pop, like there's like some of that in there, like a sprinkling, a teaspoon.
Okay.
Teaspoon.
I would agree, honestly. One of the new songs, I sometimes like characterize the songs as like different bands that influenced me, or like different bands I was listening to a lot when I wrote it. One of the songs on the new one does have heavy Death Cab influence, in my opinion. And then another one has heavy Bully influence. I love Bully. She was my top artist for last year.
Oh.
I listened to her so much. So I don't know if you could hear it on the first one, because I don't think I had even heard Bully yet when we wrote that. I would say, yeah, My Bloody Valentine is definitely one of my major influences. I love them so much. I got to see them, and it was like the best show I've ever been to. They sounded incredible. I love the wall of sound that they create. It's amazing, and their riffs. Death Cab is a good one. Title Fight. Pity Sucks, their last album, was like so good, and I definitely have a bunch of songs off of that for like our Puppy Angst inspirations playlist that we have. Let me think if I can think of any more. I'm so bad at this question too, which is why I tried to push it off onto John.
It's okay,
Eric, what do
you're
you
great.
think?
What do I think? Well, I definitely think that Title Fight and My Bloody Valentine have to be up there because they're definitely Alyssa's like favorite bands. Because they talk about them all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think I think those two bands probably. I'm not really sure because some of it is like more defining genres is difficult. It's like I know that those are the two bands that influence Alyssa the most, but I'm not sure that I even really hear them all too much, other than maybe Title Fight and a couple songs. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's valid.
Such a hard question. I don't know why it's always been like anytime I have to do for fans of, I usually just say like Hyperview era, Title Fight, Pity Sex, shoegaze in general. I don't know, because I do like to go for like the gazy sound.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Keep my chorus pedals on at all times.
Definitely. All right. So all good answers, honestly. So this one should like super, super fast. Off the top of your heads, I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. You all have to do it.
No more,
3
no less.
No more, no less.
Do we get a word each?
3 words
No,
for
no.
each of you.
3 words
Each. Yeah, 3 words each.
I'll go last because I have talked the most.
Loads of fun.
Solid.
Okay.
Solid.
Let it pass.
Lo-fi, catchy, and fuzzy,
Fuzzy. Okay. Solid.
like a dog, a pup.
Like, oh yeah, yeah. That's good. It's really good.
Like a dog. No. Bummer dream pop. I tend to
Ooh.
say that a lot. Or like bummer pop or like gazy bummer pop, but
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Those are really good. I like those a lot.
So in the same train of thought, is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while going through the EP?
should I go first?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like with Moths, I want people to feel like they are standing up to people or situations that make them feel small or bad, like walking away from things that feel bad.
Mhm.
Same with Killing Time. That's another one where it's like breaking away from that sort of thing. Meet at the Show is definitely like a moodier one. That one's like very just like, I don't know, like I can't really remember things well, and like kind of talking about that. It's like a vague reference to my partner because I'm like in it saying, when I come home, will you be around to meet me at the show? It's like talking about him. That one I would say like kind of like angstier, but in like a heavier way, because I feel like that is like the heaviest song. So maybe like more, I don't know, moshy would probably not be the right word, but
Yeah.
that type of feeling maybe.
Mhm.
Closure, I want people to have a sense of like the first 2 have the same kind of thing where you're like saying goodbye to something that doesn't serve you, and like being able to stand up to, you know, people in your life who are not good for you, or, you know, something like that. Closure is similar. And 21 is just fun. I don't know. That one's just like, just have fun at the end.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the vibe, is like, these are all kind of sad, and then the last one's also sad, but it's like, have fun anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's good. Does anybody else want to add anything?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. Sorry.
I mean, maybe people could feel like empowered after listening to the EP.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think just in general with like things that are obviously have like a home recorded sound, there's something like accessible and obtainable to it. Like, you know, you can do this too. Like, at least when I listen to like stuff people record themselves, it's like, yeah, like we can all record music. Like we all have it within us.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of want people to listen to your stuff and be like, oh, wait, shoot, maybe I could do music too type?
I definitely feel that way. I feel like everyone who wants to be able to do music should just do it.
Yeah.
And even if you just do it as a hobby, you don't even have to like release anything unless you want to, because I know there's like a pressure like, oh, you have to release something to be a real musician, and that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, you can just play for yourself, and that's like, I think everyone who wants to be able to play music or sing or pick up an instrument should be able to do it. I remember getting like my voice picked on a lot when I was in high school. My choir teacher did not like the sound of my voice and made it clear. One of my college auditions, I didn't get in for music, but I did get in academically. So I asked like, what could I like improve? Because I did like the school. And one of the judges on the panel of people who watched my audition emailed me back and was like, you know, your voice is just kind of weak and not very good, and you should maybe get a private teacher and practice up really hard, and then you can like try again next year or something. It was like similar to that. And I don't know, I feel like that mentality made it made my singing worse. I got so timid and scared that by the time I got to college, I was like broken down in like a shell of like a singer after years of feeling like so bad about my voice. And then I had a voice teacher, my private voice teacher in college, and my choir teacher too. They both had this like teaching mentality of like everyone's voice can, like we're just trying to build you up to your fullest potential of what your voice sounds like, and there's no right way to sound. As and the chorus, obviously you have to blend and all that, and I was pretty good at that. But then my private teacher was like helping me grow out of that and regain confidence again. And I feel like I like that mentality of like anyone should be able to do it if they want to, even if they don't want to release anything or like sing in public or anything like that. Nobody should feel bad about their ability.
Jeez, I'm sorry they said that, because I don't know, that's so insensitive. I don't know, like
to a teenager too, like
you're a panel.
I feel like
you're on a panel for like a college too. Like, get over yourself.
Exactly. Like you're.
I wasn't even going for vocal
18-year-old
performance. I was going for music therapy. So
that's like that weird elitism, right? That exists in that.
Yeah, I hate elitism.
But that like also speaks to like what John was saying, right? Is that like especially with like, Gen Z, millennial generations, it's like all this stuff is accessible for the first time ever, right? Like the ability to record yourself and get like a decent quality, and the ability to do that like so cheaply and in so many different ways, even like, people creating listenable recordings through their cell phone, it's just so interesting. And I think it proves, right, because of like, you see what is popular in music and what people like gravitate towards, it proves that there isn't a specific right way, and you don't have to be academically or like theoretically perfect to be able to create music, right? And I don't know, and I think that even like if you look like the history of humanity, right, like a lot of these kind of genres come from like chants and like group singing while working and shit like that, and like that is like, and that's what people gravitated towards. So the kind of academic elitism with music is garbage, in my opinion.
So I feel the same way about art as someone who used to take art classes in like middle school, but then I stopped to do music classes. For some reason, I picked choir over art classes. So just to get told my voice was like not great. But I got back into art like last year, like making it more so. And I don't know, I might not be like the best artist or whatever, but I have a lot of fun doing it. It's nice. And like, even if I'm not amazing at everything, I like some of the stuff I make, and other people sometimes like it too. And at least I'm, expressing myself in a way, and it doesn't matter if I'm like the best or not, Exactly. And as someone who is like a reformed perfectionist a little bit, I still have the tendencies, but it's like nice to be able to do something creative and not have to like be a certain like level or whatever.
Exactly.
So that is a good one, Dawn. I want people to feel empowered and be like, I can also write some songs and get a band and play them.
Exactly. Great answers. Made me happy. Made me smile. So in the nicest way possible, why haven't you guys dropped anything in 3 years? Because like, are you dropping anything this year? You mentioned an album.
So we did put a song on a compilation in 2020. It came out. It's called My Best. It's on the compilation In Abundance of Nothing, and it's our friend Mike Wolf's it was his senior project for graduating from UArts. He recorded it and mixed it and mastered it, I believe, like pretty much the whole comp except for like 1 or 2 songs. And that is on Spotify. It is, I should have done better promoting it. I don't know. I did like promote the comp as much as I could before it came out. But it is on there. And we did do like, not maybe like a full band thing, but Dylan programmed the drums for this and also like some synth parts. John contributed some bass. Eric unfortunately does not have any way to record at his house, and it was due at a certain day, but we put a cover of Supercut by Lorde onto a compilation by Booked by Grandma. It's like a New York booking collective. They put that out on New Year's Day. So
you have been putting out stuff.
Yeah, just like
singles.
I've been doing my best to like, shout about it, but maybe not enough. And it's not, that one's not on Spotify or streaming. That's only on Bandcamp.
Okay.
But I'm pretty proud of it. Redacted Emotions, which is like a radio show thing on Twitch, they played it last night for their little live. That was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay. Good to know you guys just didn't fall off the face of the earth. Thank you for informing me. That makes me happy.
kind of did like a little bit. Like we haven't done like any like big releases or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to change that.
Well,
Going
we
through
lost
like
a
the
year to the
lineup
pandemic.
change, and then like John does tour a lot, so working around that when touring was still a thing. We're getting there. I mean, we demoed out the whole, pretty much have finished demoing out the whole full length, and I'm feeling pretty confident about these songs. We just have to get the drums are almost done. Dylan's parts just need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna try to book some studio time.
That's exciting. I'm excited for you guys. That's sick.
All right. So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
I would like them to answer first.
Yeah, don't speak all at once now. Come on.
Yeah.
Hopefully touring. We've only played in Pennsylvania. Where was the farthest we went to? Like Lansdowne, right?
No, he played in Virginia too.
Let's go.
When we first
Reunion.
released Meet at the Show, we played, it was a different lineup because Eric and Kyle were not available, but we had already taken these shows. At the time, I think that we took them, Kyle maybe was available or maybe Eric was, but then like things changed. So we did it with Dylan, myself, and my partner Dan filled in on bass. Dylan played drums. We played a show in Richmond, Virginia, and in, I'm forgetting, Frederick, Maryland, I believe, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We also have played Long Island. Our second show was on Long Island, which is where I'm originally from. We played like it was actually an animal names, like cats and dogs and like pet names kind of themed show where it was like all the bands had like dog or cat names.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was cool. That was when it was me, Dylan, Eric, and Kyle. That was our second show.
Okay.
But yeah, besides that, we have not really gone too far.
Okay. Well, if you ever plan on going back to Virginia, let me know and I will go. So.
Oh, awesome. I didn't realize you were in Virginia.
Yeah, when you said Virginia, I was like, oh my God, nobody comes here. So it was really cool to hear that you
No, she begs people to go there and then they go there and she can't make it.
Because they go to like the farthest spot, and I'm like, I can't make. I gave you a specific spot, and it's whatever though. Sorry, John.
Where in Virginia are you?
I'm near Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool. I have a friend who's from there originally. Yeah, we played Richmond. My other band, Blushed, which is no longer active, we played Richmond a couple of times because we had some friends who used to live there. I think they might still live in Richmond. They might have just moved out of the house they were living in.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah, I like Virginia. I've been there a couple times. I feel like Mississippi played there when I toured with them a year ago, or that's probably more than a year ago now.
Yeah.
A little over a year ago.
It's okay. Just
okay.
Let's just say a year ago. Let's just yeah. John, it looked like you were gonna say something.
No, I mean, it's hard to even know what to say because I feel like this past year has felt like 5 years. So like, I'll just be happy to play any show, honestly. Like, it's good. Yeah, we haven't even practiced as a group in person in several months.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the future is a very strange concept.
I work coffee, and I don't want to endanger any of my students.
That's valid. Stay safe.
I'm hoping to get this vaccine soon, I hope, because I am in a front-facing food service job.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hope you get it.
Me too.
I think in 5 years we'll probably be playing on Mars. So hopefully. Yeah. So that's the goal, is to just colonize the star system or whatever.
No. Okay. None of that, Eric. Come on.
All right.
I know you're joking. Let me see. I think in 5 years, I would like to definitely have this full length out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have that done. I think like a couple of tours, if that's possible. Like I every time I think, oh, shows are going to come back at this time because that's what people are saying. Every time that happens, it just gets pushed off again.
Yeah.
So I just am trying not to be too hopeful about any of it so that I don't get my hopes up too high. But I think within 5 years, I think it's possible that we'll play shows and tours. And one of my big goals is to one day play Union Transfer, which is like the big, cool Philly venue. Hopefully,
My girlfriend loves that venue.
It's so great.
Solid. All right.
That's like a big goal. I don't know. It'd be cool to like get to play stuff like that, or I don't know, even just get to tour with a couple of bands I really admire and look up to. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be sick. I hope you guys get to do all of that because that'd be sick.
Including the playing on Mars.
Including
It's
that.
gonna happen.
It
I
will.
agree.
It will. So
We'll see.
for the last
I
couple
feel like that's
questions-
not going to happen in 5 years. That's probably like a more like 20.
No, that's like tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
The
tomorrow.
rocket ship goes
Yeah.
off tomorrow. Pack
Did
your
you not get
bags.
the email?
I didn't.
You know how
I
they
I
have
did
that
get an
record-
email that Neopets has an app coming out, and I signed up to beta test it.
Oh my god.
Neopets
That's
emailed
just
me.
what's
I don't know
what's the-
why I'm still signed up for Neopets emails, but that's
Hey,
like a description of me if I've ever heard one. I
I
spent
did
my
hear-
whole formative years, childhood, adolescence on Neopets. I learned how to code. I
Mhm.
forgot how to code
Oh,
Nice.
layouts. I made my first internet friends. I got cyberbullied for the first time when I
oh
was
my
like,
god.
On
Wow.
Neopets?
Yeah.
Was your Neopet not cute enough? Is that why?
Oh,
Did you
No,
mess up?
I started. Okay, so I know people lied to say they were 13 to be able to use all the Neopets features. The first account I ever had, I printed out the permission slip. My dad signed it for me. Rest in peace, Dad. He signed my Neopets permission slip so that I could go on the boards and stuff and
Oh
have the
my
guilds
God.
and everything.
oh
And
my
then
god.
he faxed it in. And then I got to go on the guild boards and everything. And I started a guild with someone. It was about fairies because I love the Neopets fairies.
Mm.
And I didn't realize I was bisexual till like a few years ago. Meanwhile, I literally looked at the Neopets fairies like every day and I would try to draw them.
Mhm.
They were everything to me. We made this guild and I think I just didn't like, I was like 9 or 10, like I was really young. And the person I made this guild with was like a full-on teenager. So that's kind of weird. Like they were like in their late teens. And I guess I didn't do something properly, like with one of the pages or something. Like, I don't even know. But she got so mad and she took all of the designs down and wrote all this like hateful stuff about me and was like, this person ruined the guild. It was very upsetting.
Oh my god.
But now I think it's hilarious because I'm like, I was like 9 or 10 years old
yeah.
and it was a fairy guild.
That's so sad. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think it's pretty funny. Also it's like, I don't know. I did go through this process to be able to even like do these guilds and Neopets things. So permission slip that you then have to fax in because
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a different world.
What a bygone era.
I know. I haven't even seen a fax machine in like a decade.
I forgot they existed, to be completely honest. So
Me too.
yeah.
Until that memory just flooded back to me. This is how my memory works. I forget everything and I just like walk through in like a haze.
Mhm.
And then suddenly something will remind me and I'm just like viscerally thrown back and I'm like, whoa, Neopets, I got cyberbullied on there. Fax machines.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
Definitely.
I'm sorry to derail this. I feel like
It's
I
okay.
always do this.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to say, for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music if we're still on that topic. And we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So, if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Very big boom.
My God.
I can't go first. I'm very indecisive.
Oh,
Mm.
This is such a hard question.
wow.
Somebody has to go first.
Right.
Yeah.
John.
All right. My food of choice would be, like Ninja Turtles pizza. like like pizza, like that Ninja Turtles would eat. Like it's gooey.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
cheese
yeah.
pizza. It's like the perfect amount of gooiness and like texture and heat. You can
Yeah.
see the steam. So like that kind of pizza, not from a specific place because I don't know, but just a really good cheese pizza
Mhm.
with a Coke in a glass bottle.
Solid.
Yeah, Mexican style Coke.
Good.
I mean, okay, in actuality, I feel like not to get too heavy, but I'd probably just hunger strike because capital punishment is bullshit. But if I had to choose something, it would probably be a red crest buffalo chicken sandwich, which is like an awesome fried chicken place in South Philly.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah, that place is really good.
I love that place so
They
much.
got vegan ones that are good.
Hmm.
Okay, so I am a vegetarian. The only thing I ever really miss is like really, really good like sushi grade fish,
Mhm.
like just raw fish. So I occasionally like once or twice, a couple times a year. It's been a little bit more this past year. Um, but I occasionally break being vegetarian. So I guess I'm kind of a pescatarian, but I really don't eat it often. It's kind of like maybe like once every couple of months. I just get like such a craving.
Mhm.
I would have like really, really good sushi grade fish. I don't know what the budget is, but even if it was just like one piece of really good salmon or really good tuna or something like that.
Mhm.
And my drink of choice would be peach pear LaCroix.
Taste. Yep. So
Solid.
true.
That's my favorite flavor of LaCroix. I just want I want it to burn and like the like carbon. I want it to be so cold that it like kind of hurts.
Yeah.
That's how I drink my seltzer. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Solid.
Is it La Croix or LaCroix?
I used to
LaCroix.
say LaCroix, but then I saw that it was LaCroix. The
Okay.
company said that it was
Trying to be
LaCroix.
so fancy.
La Croix.
I currently have a cherry vintage. Vintage is another good seltzer brand.
Oh, that's my
Yeah.
fave.
Ooh,
I love vintage.
If it wasn't peach pear LaCroix, it would be one of those special polar seltzer flavors. They do limited edition ones. They have like a cranberry cider one.
Mhm.
That would be my second
Interesting.
choice. That one's really good. Tastes like cranberry cider. I don't know how. It has like all these fall spices in it.
Mhm.
So good.
Solid.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color? Don't speak all at once now.
It can't be me first.
Wow. Everything I
very-
wear is like black and gray.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very
Those are-
contextual question. Depends on the
I like. I guess I like purple. Purple's a good one.
Solid choice.
Solid.
What shade of purple?
The purple kind.
the best kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with forest green.
So
Solid.
true.
It's another good one. It's like floral green.
Bring it back to title fight.
Oh, always. Mine changes a lot. It really does. Recently I've been loving orange and red. When I dyed my hair orange like a year and a half ago, it was like life-changing. I don't know, like matched my makeup and my outfits and my hair, and it was great.
Mhm.
So I really like oranges, reds, and like pinks right now. Like those are probably the top. But I do love like every color. When I make like art, like digital art or whatever, I
Mhm.
tend to do like a lot of color. I don't know. I tend to like a lot of like bright colors. So yeah.
Solid.
All right, solid. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Well, I'll plug the Booked by Grandma compilation. That's at bookedbygrandma.bandcamp.com. Our song or our cover of Supercut by Lord is the first song on there. I'm super proud of it. It was like such a fever dream making it. I kind of just like tracked all the guitars in like 1 or 2 days and then just like did all these vocal parts, and I just kind of like sat in the stew, like the home stew. And yeah, listen to My Best, because I've realized now that it seems that we haven't released any original music since 2018, but we have that song. It's from 2020, and I think it sounds really great. Mike did a super good job on it. And the EP, why not? I feel like it's having a little bit of a revival at the moment because I'm promoting it again.
Catch us on TikTok, catch us on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Follow us on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. Usually it's just my face, though, because I can't see anyone else to take pictures with them.
That's fair.
That's valid. Well, thank you for sitting down with us, guys. It's been Puppy Angst, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.